Who is this? Someone who cannot remember her mother, growing up in circles, every day the same, inside a single wall that binds a speck of longing inside her name, Rapunzel, she whispers, calls herself up by the roots. See her walking the tower round, a stylus of want skirting the stifled air. She shrugs semi-darkness around her shoulders while mosquitoes delve and pry, siphon her rage. The nights are hardest. By day, there's a green view of things she never touched. Heat rises into the towering dome. Eucalypts exhale their fug into her face. Days loop back into lethargy, circle around like stacks of books that line the walls, remind her there's no point chasing bush mice out of the cracks, no point building shelves for all these books. She has tried dressmaking and weaving too, drinking and baking and masturbating. See how hollow it is, this fort of solitude, how filled with her, how empty. The hair is most outrageous and familiar. Hair stuck in her mouth, caught round her wrists, hair piled up over the bed, heaping tragic haystack of hair. Clownish girl child's fantasy of hair, dragging, lagging, bridal train of hair, rustling shadows. She turns to face her mute pursuer, never there. Sweeping, sinful, susurrous hair, wallowing, weighty, insomniac hair, circles painted with a wake of hair, enormous snake of hair that could swallow her up where she sleeps. A burden of hair, an aching of hair, a mess of a festering excess of hair, a cumulant sensual swelling of hair, a cellular seeking intelligence paired with confinement. I see her, you see her, girl locked in tower, girl locked out of reach of her own power. I see her, I sense her. I want to tell this story with feelings, not words. I sense her, I seek her, a long and snake-like tail winding through 4 long centuries. They seek her, I see her. Around the edges of her mind run stone-cold rings of doubt. She sees me, I hear her. If only I were normal, they would surely let me out. They seek her, they write her, hunted down, caught and bound. They write her, I find her, born to me by male hands like spoils of war. They bind her, they bind her. Her mystery becomes scalp, becomes trophy. You see her, I see her. Biology grinds and burns. Now I pace the tower in my turn, having chosen a jawline to trust, a chest to bury myself in. Biology grinds and burns. Rapunzel's hair stirs. Basile called it a golden banner, streaming from the tower, calling the prince to enlist in the army of love. Allow me this moment of fantasy. As they lay there, sated, spent, for once in her life, the hair just stopped. Where you cannot break out, you may simply break. Or perhaps become something the story cannot hold. Her belly is swelling, her body telling a secret that cannot be contained, spilling over beyond hems and margins and into the face of propriety. The Grimms replace her pregnancy with a very ladylike stupidity. Either way, it's enough to get her thrown out. I see her fall, unborn life and all, into the obscurity of those lost years where she births alone in the wilderness, twins who cling to her, knowing she has been forgotten by her own story. Her lover likewise suffers, wandering to find her, blind, his eyes torn out on thorns, and of course her hair has been shorn, innocent no more. Hope is when she exits, page left, and I cannot see her. A story that grabs you doesn't end, you just stop telling it. All of this happened so many years ago that if you counted, you would have to borrow some from the children. I don't want to forget the beginning. When the earth and sea were new, he drove me home, and a very good time it was too, but a prince shared by many is half a prince. And I was not at all sorry for what I swore would be the last word. Rampion is an autogamous plant. It will curl like coils or braids on a maiden's head, fertilizing itself. The story unravels when observed. It was not until yours that my word tune was formed. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let it come, let it go. My daughter peers intently through the windowing page. Through dainty illustrations and archaic phrasing, something stirs, something waiting, stretched taut and straining to break free. Who is this? Who fills me, creates herself in this untold body? I tuck in her covers, smooth her soft mane, touch each century I waited to learn her name, then step into the wholeness of her dreaming night. In her doorway leave a single strand of light.